You're listening to the Here for the Clout podcast. Here are your hosts, Sherilyn Dale and Cece Suarez. Yeah, baby.
Hello, Clout Kings, Queens, and in-betweens. You're listening to Here for the Clout. I am Sherilyn Dale, and this is my beautiful, amazing, Khaleesi giving goddess vibe co-host, Chelsea Suarez, aka Cece Suarez. We are so happy you have come back to listen to us, watch us, hang with us. Haven't given up on us.
I got a few things to say.
Okay.
I actually did have a few things to say, but then I forgot what they were, so
Also fair.
never mind.
Okay. Moving forward.
Yeah. So I do have our comment, unless you have one. But
I do have one.
I'm so excited.
What?
I saw y'all's feedback. I've adjusted my mic so that I'm speaking into right here. Also,
What was the feedback?
the lady on the right needs to turn her mic up or something like that.
Oh, right. Yes.
As my voice quivers. But yeah, so look, I take feedback, okay? Just be nice to me, please. However, Brandy K17 says, could I give you a synopsis of this episode? No. Could I tell you what they talked about? Again, no. Did I listen to every word and think it was me and my besties having a chit chat? Absolutely, yes.
I love that.
And
that's the vibe
that's
we're
what we're
going
here for.
That's literally
Yes.
what the vibe is. Great. I'm so glad that is resonating and catching on. That's the plan.
We might not have much planned out,
No, we
but
don't.
that is
But that
one
is
of the
the one.
plans.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We just want to be shooting the shit, really. Okay, so mine comes by X Stitch by Shelly. And she said, I once told my husband that I would let Pedro Pascal break my ribs. He was very shocked at the aggression. ... I still stand by that statement.
I saw that one. I was gonna
Freaking
screenshot that one.
amazing.
I saw that one after I saw Brandy's, and I was like, you know,
That
I get it, girl.
Okay, I'm gonna have to adopt that because that is so good. Like, I'd let so and so break my ribs. Like,
It's when you feel like so, like, it's like when you feel so just like, ugh, you just want to,
Yeah.
you see something cute and you just want to squeeze it.
Yes,
And you're like, wait,
bite
I
it.
can't. I'm gonna hurt. Yeah. Girl, how many baby feet have you bitten?
oh, too many. Oh, like not even really feet. I go for the meaty part of the arm, or like the cheek. It's my poor kids.
Yeah, I'm trying to butter up Bean's feet and just yeah. So I get it. And there's definitely times when, like, listen, I know some people think it's weird that I get so boned up for my husband, but sounds like you're miserable. Sorry, my husband's hot. But he came downstairs today and I was just like, just mouth breathing
Break
like
my
a
ribs.
creep
Let's go.
in the corner. And he's just like, opens the fridge, turns around, drinks something. And I'm just like, I was like, it's been about 24 hours. And he's like, since what? And I was like, since I...
Cut that out.
So, yeah, demonetized already. It's just, sometimes you just want to bite it.
Yeah.
Arr.
Big
Anyways, enough about
affection aggression
biting
over here.
penises. Yeah.
Like between us. Yeah.
God, I cannot wait to cuddle you.
Oh, yeah. Yes, also between. I can't. Yeah, I know. It's coming up soon. Again, the news every day with the newest, like, airline things are not really doing well for me, but it's going to be okay.
I have a question. Why are you watching the news?
I literally should stop, but Big Guy loves watching the news. I don't know, he's like 100 years old or something. Every night he's got to watch it, so I see it also.
What a psycho.
Yeah.
Make him stop. Stop
I do
watching
try.
the news. Well, no, but the thing is, you don't have to watch it if he watches it.
No, but that's like when we'll sit together and like have our dinner and stuff. We're just like really like 80 years old, I think, just sitting there having our dinner, watching the news. Anyways, I need to stop because yes, it's like getting like out of control right now. There was like another incident today, so I just can't.
Okay, well, there's not going to be like diplomats on our flights.
Kate, this wasn't diplomats. It was like just even on the runway. It's like, I don't know if they just like forget like what the rules and protocols are, but they were just like, no, I don't think anybody was like severely injured or anything like that, but they freaking like hit wings. Like, what are you doing?
They're just trying to snuggle. They're trying to high five each other.
Anyways, speaking of getting people on planes, the woman we want to talk about today.
Can't wait, where's this going?
The woman we're talking about today is refusing to get on one to come back to America. That was
so good. Oh my God, you guys. Okay, so another best of compilation is our like ridiculous segues.
Yeah.
I tried to do a good one. I was about to say yesterday, last episode or 2 episodes ago. Did not work out because then we went on like a tangent about Cynthia Erivo flying through the air. And then I was like, okay, 20 minutes later. I really that one up.
Tangent time will get you every time.
Girl, I'm scared. But yeah, that's a good little compilation. I've been watching the Basement Yard compilations and just dying laughing every time.
It's cute to do that. Yeah, those are fun. Those could be like good Patreon ones too.
The way I would choke Joe Santigato, the way I would bite his nipples. Anyways, so yeah, so this lady, let's talk about her.
Yes, of course. As we just said, the vibe here is definitely just like getting together with the girls and just chilling and hanging out and talking about all the, I don't know, things that are floating through the intersphere of the internet. But
yeah.
So yes, not that we don't want to take it seriously. Of course, like we have like the lighthearted banter, we have our tangent time and everything. And while we might giggle, I guess, at like the situation of a whole and just like the commentary from Onija, the lovely lady that we're going to be talking about, there also is just something to know that there are, I guess, confirmed mental health issues that have been confirmed by her son, who's worried about her being out in Pakistan and not coming back to the United States. So if she has bipolar disorder and is also like not on her medication and going through a manic episode right now, which her loved ones believe she definitely is, that's concerning. So for that aspect, it does need to be taken seriously. So the situation in whole, yes, it's turned into this like viral thing. She's become this like sensation out even in Pakistan. They are treating her like so wonderfully.
Which is not to listen, I'm not about to be xenophobic, I promise. The wig might have fooled you, but like slay.
Yeah.
All right, Pakistan.
Oh, they are getting like the best, like I feel like PR in terms of bringing people to like go and visit, because they have just been like so kind. They're like calling her their sister and
not the tourism board.
Yeah.
Like
they're just
her.
Like keep her here. Like let's just keep it rolling. No, they're taking really good care of her, but obviously like as her loved ones, that's concerning. She's in a country she knows nobody in, and yeah, doesn't have like a home as far as we know, money, and her family wants her to come back. So while of course like some of the things that we're watching are like the viral moments and stuff like that and the news clips of her speaking, there's also, you know, some just to keep in the back of our mind.
Of course. And it's the absurdity of it all, you know, that we're the calamity, the absurdity, everything's fine. Listen, we're here to disassociate and be silly and goofy, and we wish her well and hope she is okay. So Onija is such a beautiful name.
So beautiful.
Onija Andrew Robinson, 33-year-old woman, lived, now she's the queen of Pakistan, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, she's their mascot.
Literally, right now she is. She just did a tea commercial for them. She's out there doing commercials. This is why it's like, yes, it's a serious matter, but it's also like in a way, like a positive, uplifting as much as you could from the situation, because they are treating her so well, it seems, and like having her be their mascot for the time. I don't know. This is wild.
I do not understand that. That's crazy. It's like the best scenario she could have out there.
And that's the thing. Like, that's why, yes, this situation is great, but it is important to like know the severity, because it could have gone very, very poorly. This could have gone very bad.
Do you think And I think yes, but do you think that that's why maybe it has gone so viral is because of the location and
them
like
just
maybe
treating her so well. Like, yes, I do think that was part of it because they're holding press conferences. She's got like a whole army of like Pakistani men behind her, just
if
like
it was,
listening
London,
and like, you know.
Yeah, if it was like London, I don't think it would get. I think people would just be like, okay, what?
She doesn't want to leave London. Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of it has to do with them just like allowing her to like, they just like keep going to where she's like camping out outside of, we'll find out where in a moment here.
Look at you. Look at you with the storytelling. And not giving everything away within the first 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Because I do that. So she used to live in the Bronx and she met her boyfriend online. Sounds like there is no Ethan. Oh, just kidding. This is horrible. Mm-hmm. The boyfriend is a 19-year-old from Pakistan and his name is Nidal Ahmed Mimon. Did I do a good job?
Yeah.
I'm usually pretty good at pronouncing Middle Eastern names, especially Persian names. I'm pretty good.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Oh my God, thanks. You're beautiful.
So are you, Khaleesi.
I prefer
what are
more
you,
of
one
a
of
Rhaenyra,
Blake
but...
Lively's dragons? I just had to do a follow-up. I got a comment. You got dragged into it too on my page. But anyways, we'll save that for tangent time.
Oh, no.
It's fine. Carry on.
I have a feeling it's not. Anyways, so, yeah, the age difference is disgusting. And on my wedding anniversary, on October 24th, 2024, Anija flies to Pakistan and a massive international ordeal ensues because we're in the future too and we know what has happened. So she went to Pakistan for vacation basically and got dumped, overstayed her trip by several months.
Yeah.
Which is
I think she was supposed to be back in October. She left in October and I think it was only like 15 days. So like we're in February now.
Yeah.
She's still there.
Wild. Yeah. She's like, nah, babe, you ain't leaving me. So she staged a sit-in, became a TikTok sensation, and is refusing to leave. That's crazy.
Let's watch this TikTok. This is a really great rundown from one of my favorite gals who does the whiteboard breakdown of like all the viral things that are going on TikTok. So this is like a great synopsis here.
American woman in Pakistan explain. So this woman named Anija Robinson from New York City, she is a mother, she's married, she's 33 years old. She traveled to Pakistan to meet her Pakistani boyfriend that she met online. They weren't really like boyfriend and girlfriend, but they started chatting online. They found each other on Facebook. Her profile was very edited, so I guess the guy commented on a picture and then they started chatting from there. He's 19 years old, he lives in Pakistan, and she traveled from New York City to Pakistan to meet him. So when she got there, apparently they did meet, and she did meet the family, and the family was like, oh, hell no. So he dumped her, even though they were like not boyfriend and girlfriend. They didn't want to see her again. So she started basically camping outside of his house, and that's when the media got a hold of it because they're like, there's this American woman that refuses to leave and keeps camping outside of this guy's house. What the f is going on? So she starts holding press conferences in Pakistan regarding the situation. While she's waiting for this man to be with him, she's like, you know what? In the meantime, let's make Pakistan a better place. And she says, I demand from the government more than 500,000 USD to make Pakistan a better place. Good night.
What you come in Pakistan?
I demand from the government more than $5,000 in USD to make Pakistan a better place. Good night.
Where are you from?
I'm from here.
You're from America?
I'm from here now.
She's basically holding herself ransom and being like, I want $50,000. No, I want $100,000. Actually, I want $500,000. Basically, every day in the press conference, she's like, I want this, but let's double it. And here's the kicker. She doesn't want the money for herself. I don't want the money for myself. I just want this money so I can fix a Pakistan.
My plan? I just told you to make Pakistan a better place, to build houses and make better hotels, and bring food into this country.
She's like, I don't like the way it looks. Let's fix it up. I will fix it. In these press conferences, she is saying, I am Muslim. She is not. And it's against my religion to tell you my business. Have a nice day.
I'm Muslim, and it's against my religion to tell y'all my business. Have a nice day.
She is not Muslim, so she shouldn't be saying that. But I think it is iconic to be like, it is against my religion to tell you all my business. Have a good day. I'm going to start saying that.
Excuse me. I just said it's against my religion to tell you my business, okay?
She keeps waiting for him outside. She's on a 15-day visa. I believe she's been there since October. So I don't know how she's still there.
Don't go back your country.
That's none of your business, and I don't know what you're talking about. Good night.
She has become an icon in Pakistan where she is literally doing commercials now. I just saw a TikTok video of her doing a literal tea commercial.
What? Tea is fantastic.
And the people have been so nice to her and giving her this airtime because she's just unhinged. People in Pakistan don't know what the fuck is going on. They're just going with it, being really nice to her, hosting her. We don't know where she's staying.
I don't live here. I'm chilling. It's none of your business. Now go home.
Basically, at first, she just started camping out outside this guy's house, being like, I'm going to wait for him, but he never comes out. And it turns out that he's actually married with kids. The American woman in Pakistan's son did come out and say that their mother does suffer from bipolar disorder. It's not all there, which makes sense. But like I said, the Pakistani people are being so nice to her, welcoming her, and just going with it. I think that is so sweet of them. Her plan for Pakistan while she's there, when she gets this money from the U.S. that she's asking for, because, you know, she's holding herself ransom there, she says that her plan is to fix Pakistan, fix it up, needs to be reconstructed the right way, and she will do it.
Like I said, Pakistan needs to be reconstructed the right way. Do you hear me, guys? Make sure y'all get this on your camera.
In another press conference, she also claims that she will move to Dubai with her Pakistani husband, which is this 19-year-old boy that she met online that doesn't want her.
Nidel Hamid. I'm Onaija Hamid. We are moving to Dubai very soon. We're going to have our baby in Dubai.
Basically for the government to give her the money so they can start building houses and homes to fix Pakistan up and make it the way it's supposed to be, the right way, her way. So yeah, that is the American woman in Pakistan explained. She's basically refusing to leave Pakistan and demanding money so she can use it to rebuild Pakistan.
Okay. So there's a lot.
First of all, love her.
Right.
Love her so much.
Yeah, we need to get her on. Just every episode. Hey, can you get just the whiteboard synopsis for us to talk about?
Yeah, where's your whiteboard? So what's her face? My favorite person in the world with the whiteboard. She said that, what's her name? Onaija? Mm-hmm. She said that Onaija is married and has 4 kids?
Allegedly, yes. So I guess she's married. There was also that one tidbit of him apparently being married as well.
With children. It's like, when did you get married? Also, it's a different country.
Yeah, so that too. And I was very confused by the situation because it was like, it was presented that she went there, met him, met the family. So like when I first heard that, I thought like maybe he was still living at home with his parents. I don't know. What I know now though is that after they met and his parents were like, absolutely not, he never returned to that house that he was like, no, it's abandoned, it's locked. Like they have not been back and she's been camping out, allegedly.
I mean, I don't blame them.
Yeah. So that's what's going on.
Also, though, like, it sounds like she catfished him.
Yes, that's also a concern.
But it's a reverse catfish because then when do we ever hear of the catfish going to the person?
Yeah.
Like, what?
And then refusing to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, like, if Nev got a hold of this story, like, before TikTok, this would have been, like, insane.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
And then she said that they're going to move and that they're going to have their baby.
In Dubai.
And it's like, ma'am, I'm pretty sure you didn't have sex with him.
No. I just think that's maybe the long-term 5-year plan that she has for the two of them.
I would be interested to know what the conversation was like between them. Like, did he agree to have her come or did he invite her?
We have a lot of questions for sure. And as far as I know, at the time of us recording this now, he has not spoken publicly. Probably maybe like in fear of like his safety and like keeping his whereabouts hidden, you know, because I mean, like, not to be like, oh, like she's a little bit lost a little bit in the sauce here, but yeah, definitely seems unstable, and like that is a concern for people's safety. Like she's exhibiting like concerning behavior by camping out and refusing to leave when, if she's been there since October, it's February. This is beyond overboard.
Oh, it's definitely not safe, especially for him and his family and his current spouse as well. I'd be worried about that.
Well, and also her too a little bit because, you know, as much as like the sound bites and everything are, give us a little bit of a chuckle and are a bit of comical, like with her stance and stuff like that, her delivery can be like a little bit aggressive. And if that comes across to somebody who maybe doesn't know who she is and like she's firm like that, it could, get her in trouble as well. So that's also concerning. From what I know by one of the TikToks that Kelly had included in the notes, like that first one where it just kind of like touches more on like the severity of the mental health aspect side, she brought up a really good point being like, where are the GoFundMes to donate to her family to at least get them a ticket to get out there? Because from what I understand, she has been offered, I think like even like the Pakistani government has offered to fly her back, and she does not want to go. So it's like, okay, we need all hands on deck, and we need her family flown out there so they can be on the ground, face to face with her, talking to her. Yeah, they've tried.
That's what girl, if she was in America, she'd be put on a plane.
Yeah.
Like, do they not do, I'm very ignorant to this. Do they not do that?
I don't I don't know. I haven't looked into like their laws and regulations and what they would do things, especially like with like, what do you call them? 151s or what's the term? 5150s. Yeah, there we go.
Being Baker acted. Yeah.
So like, I don't know what like their rules are for something like that, like of a mental health crisis. It just kind of seems that they're like, you know what, babe, here, like we're just take some of our money from the government. Let's get you back home. We got a little plane ticket for you. And we just don't want to deal with it. So I don't know. I feel like that would actually be like a really dangerous situation as well, though, because, if she was being detained in a, foreign country that she doesn't know anybody, that could be really scary and like exasperate her symptoms of if she's it does seem like she's going through like a manic episode right now. So that would definitely make things like even worse. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen a GoFundMe. If you guys have, please let us know so that we can also share it to get her family out there. Cause it seems like at this point, that is pretty much the only thing that I think is going to work.
Yeah. It's one of those situations where it's like, we got a lot of questions. I don't think we're ever going to get answered.
No, yeah, it is one of those episodes, guys. I'm sorry, we don't have like too many answers here.
Great.
What I read on here, so I guess some information that wasn't in the video, but that Kelly found was that it was a Pakistani YouTuber called Zafar Abbas. I guess he's an activist as well. He shared her story on his YouTube channel, and then that got the attention. Can you imagine? That YouTuber has the attention of the governor Tesori, the governor of the province, and that's the province that she's illegally staying in right now. So the governor learned that she's there, everything that's going on, and that her visa was expired. So he extended it for her so like she wouldn't get in trouble. And then that governor was the one that even arranged the plane ticket to get her back home. And then she didn't. And then from there, it just kind of like took on a life of its own. That's how the news outlets picked it up. And then how, because I always wonder, I'm like, how did she gather everybody in front of this place? Like, did you see the amount of microphones? Like, babe, how did you do that? Like, we need your tenacity, but this is how it kind of all unfolded.
The way she's like answering questions though to people, it's could you imagine if she was the press secretary? Which like really right now it's not any better. But like the White House press secretary, if like she was that like that's what I have in my brain. Also, did y'all know that the White House press secretary, the current one, did y'all know she's 27?
Yeah, I did know that.
And that
I don't know why.
We're older than her.
Yeah.
With that Mary Kay looking makeup. Chelsea, stop. Okay. Anyways.
I did know that, surprisingly. So yeah,
I only knew because of Suzanne Lambert's been going hard on her. It's amazing.
Who's Suzanne Lambert?
I probably just woke up my kid. That was just loud. So she's amazing. She's on TikTok. She's from Tampa. And she was at my wedding.
Nice.
And she was a plus one, but she's great. I love her. And she is basically like the anti-conservative Regina George. She's amazing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's the best. I love her so much. Okay.
I'll have to check her out.
Yeah, she's hilarious. You know what I find very interesting is how, like, the TikTokification of all of this, like how it landed in our laps. And people are like, oh, did you hear about the, woman who's holding herself hostage or holding herself for ransom in Pakistan because, like, she's, her husband or whoever. And I heard that version of it. I didn't know that he was already married, had kids, is 19 and all that, and like the huge age gap. But then seeing like the news articles of it, heartbreak denial in a psychiatry ward. That's not how you pronounce that, Chelsea. Oh, well, a U.S. woman's bizarre pursuit for teenage lover in Pakistan. Like that's, I just feel like those ways of like presenting the information are just so like vastly different. But I mean, if you think about it, like it's like the silly, goofy, and like craziness of all of it, like how we're approaching it. But,
like you said, the TikTokification, but this is like, this is the honesty in that headline, right? American woman refuses to leave Pakistan, sits outside lover's house in Karachi.
Is it lover if it's one way?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think that maybe just like kind of like appealing to her thoughts on the situation, because no, it seems like
they're like clickbait titles. I get it.
Yeah.
But good God. So not only is she their mascot, their icon, a beloved figure over there, she has also allegedly received multiple, not just a few, many marriage proposals from Pakistani men. And that way she'd be able to like stay there. But she's like, no, I'm waiting for him.
Yeah, I'm waiting for him. I'm just cool. Don't worry, me and the governor, we're tight. He's just gonna keep extending the visa for me. Like,
and you know what? Like she stands on business. The business might be delusion, but it's her business. She stands on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like women like this. I mean, if she had the opportunity and the funds to like start a business, that like she would be one of those women that would just be like unstoppable. I feel. It's like don't. Stay a little delulu.
Sherilyn, I'm going to have to disagree with you there. I feel like she would be more like a Bree Powers of like, I have 7 nonprofits. No,
this is true. Yes, I do have concerns when she says, I want the $100,000 in my pocket, when she always says pocket, and then they're like, what are you going to do with it? And she says she's going to pick up Pakistan. So maybe we just like perceive that as like, oh, like we believe that she actually is going to do that, but I guess we wouldn't really know what she was going to do with the money that went into her pocket. So you might be right.
There's not any money going into her pocket at all. So yeah, I mean, people are loving it. Like she's basically a meme over there. And I mean, realistically, like a lot of people have said, like, yeah, they haven't had their own like meme like that.
Yeah.
And so it's like a trend now of having Anija energy.
I don't live here. I'm chilling.
You chilling here? Why are you not taking your flight?
It's none of your business. Now go home. Excuse me. I just said it's against my religion to tell you my business, okay? I'm not talking unless y'all giving me land and 2,000 or more every week. I'm asking the government for $100K in my pockets so I can do real estate. My husband will own it. Steak mixed double with cheeseburger, large fry, extra salt, 2 apple pies. Bye.
Thank you.
Why what?
Why are you coming in Pakistan?
Because, like I said, I like because y'all pray, and I pray all the time. Right now, I'm going to mind my business. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Clear the way.
Why are you in Pakistan?
Give me $3,000 a week, and maybe I'll say something.
You had come to Pakistan to marry one guy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Why are you staying over here?
It's none of your business. I'm not talking unless y'all giving me land and 2,000 or more every week. You hear me? I'm getting it. Do y'all agree? Mind your business. What? Talk.
Tell me you have a Pakistani passport?
I'm getting one. Do you have one?
I have
Oh, you do? Okay, good. Listen.
Totally. And yeah, I don't know. Like we said at the beginning, I think at this point, like nothing for positive for like the Pakistani people, like to like have this like representation of just like how patient. I think patient is a really, really great word, and accommodating to her. Can you imagine if this was like going on with Trump? Like, you know how fast like that expired visa, she would just be caged at this point. Like they're like, no, babe, you're fine. Can we get you at the this tea place at noon to do a commercial?
No, honestly though, the meme of it all, he probably, girl, that man loves a meme. Let me tell you.
Now that like he had like TikTok viral moments, like now he's all about it. Yes.
Well, also I feel like he's listening, which I mean, please keep listening to Barron, please. Maybe we can get in with Barron more and convert him to not be a psycho, and then he can just get his dad to, but like that's the only reason he went on like almost any podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, he did say that
because of his son.
Yeah, he did say that he credited all of that to his son. So
maybe Barron would save this woman. What?
I feel like he could. Yeah, he'd be like, Dad, listen. This is a really good moment for us. Let's extend the visa. Let's get her in a McDonald's doing a commercial. Yeah, so that's where things are right now. We don't know the plan moving forward with the government, if they're going to continue extending things for her. I would expect that her family is trying to get there. Like I said, if there's any GoFundMes or anything like that you guys know of for her family to get out there, I would actually really, really love to know, because I'd want to share that for sure, because I do think that it is important. Well, yes, we did say that there's like the whole TikTokification of this all, that she does need help. She needs to get back home, and she should be with her family and getting proper care.
Oh, well, 100%. But also there are updates though of yeah, I mean, there's the recent update of, like, for instance, well, first and foremost, one thing that's super interesting is that polygamy is, I was about to call it bigamy, but that's when polygamy is not legal and then you have two wives. But polygamy is legal there, but it has to be like approved, I guess, by like your family or something, or by someone. I don't know. And
so if he was married with like somebody else, it wouldn't necessarily be like an issue.
If it was like approved by whoever the powers that be, I don't know.
Well, yeah, but I mean, but it's looking like that's not even a concern though, because he's like, I don't know who you are. He just literally hiccuped and choked at the same time. Yeah, so that's irrelevant.
Yeah, but very interesting. So this was a day. Okay, so this was a day ago, guys. Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Okay. It just doesn't even say anything on the TV. The TV just disappears when I do that. And they're like, nope, we're not doing it anymore. So, all right. So it's from thetab.com. It says, right, here's the full unhinged story.
Right.
I love that. Why does it literally start out like a Marky video? Have you ever noticed that every time he starts a video, he's like, right, so today. And I'm like, yeah. Why are you starting like mid-conversation? I'm brand new to this conversation, Marky. That's hilarious. Hi, Marky. He doesn't watch this. Initially, she refused to leave. Pakistani activist. There are reports of her being placed on a psychiatric hold. At the same time, there are now reports that the American woman in Pakistan was held at Karachi's Janai Postgraduate Hospital for a mental health examination, something which her own son, Jeremiah Andrew Robinson, shed light on. Her and Nidal knew each other. Like before she went to Pakistan, she was only supposed to go to Pakistan to meet him and his family just on vacation. He said, okay, so I don't think that she's like actively married over here. Otherwise, why would her son say that? Mm-hmm. She was only supposed to go to Pakistan to meet him and his family just on vacation, he said, according to News the International. Seems like a reliable source.
Oh, no.
When it was time for her to come back after 2 weeks, I was trying to convince her to come back. She refused. Then Nidal did not deter, and she was supposed to return back on January 15th when Nidal had booked her tickets. He further claimed that his mother was fighting bipolar disorder and urgently required treatment in the U.S. News reports from Dialogue Pakistan suggest that she received another marriage offer from a man, and the story is not over yet. And then guess what? That article ends. How are you going to end an article with, and the story's not over yet?
Stop. Okay,
But also
so
guess what? It is.
oh, I guess we don't know. So it's being alleged, I guess, in that article that she was seen at a facility, but we don't know the outcome of it. So really, we still need to get her family out there. Boots on the ground. Let's get them there.
Yeah, come on, buddy. Let's go.
So yeah, we at this point, that's literally it. That's all we have. Like Chelsea said, you had a feeling that we were going to go in with a lot of questions and not get a lot of answers. And at this time, we don't have a lot of answers. So I'm sure like as it unfolds though in future episodes, we'll have a moment to kind of update everybody. Again, I hope this is nothing but a positive outcome. Her family gets there, she gets home, gets the help she needs, because yes, while there are the viral moments and the sound bites and everything, there is obviously a very serious issue at hand here that she does need help, and I think just needs to be surrounded by her family.
I find the way the world views clear displays of very serious mental health issues quite interesting. You've all seen the debacle with Onijah Robinson, Onijah Ahmed in Pakistan at the moment. Her son has come out and has said, you know, my mum has mental health issues. I think it's bipolar disorder, blah, blah, blah. So we've got some further details of the situation. At first, because we didn't have further details, obviously we were kiki and ha-ha, finding it funny. But now that we have further details, I don't understand why everybody's still laughing and making parodies about it. This is not a funny situation. This is a really serious situation. And as somebody who has lost people to bipolar disorder, somebody who is still grieving over losing somebody to bipolar disorder, this is just not funny. When somebody is manic, there are clear indications of their mania, one of them being how they present themselves. If they're a woman, how they do their makeup. For the people that I knew who had bipolar disorder, that would be one of the telltale signs. When I'd see them in public and I'd see them looking a certain type of way, I'd know that things aren't going so well. Had Onijah been in a Western country, she would have been sectioned. Click of a finger. Put on medication and she would have been seeing a psychologist and a psychiatrist. Would only be released when she is well and back to herself. Many people with bipolar disorder also take themselves to hospital too when they are feeling manic. Onijah clearly does not have the capability or the skill set to realise that she's currently manic. But anybody, I want to say with common sense, but not many people are well versed on mental health. People who are well versed, especially professionals, especially people who have got family members or friends who have bipolar disorder, can see that this woman is manic, is going through some sort of psychosis. Therefore, I would love to know what is funny. I get it. Social media is kiki, ha-ha. It's not serious. It's funny. We make a laugh and a joke out of everything. Especially us as the new adults. We are not serious, but not everything is a laughing matter. Not every situation in this world we must make a parody out of. My main concern is that this situation could go from bad to worse, because to me it's already bad. Big up to Pakistan because they are being so gentle with her and so understanding, but everybody can only take so much. There are laws, policies, procedures that need to be followed in each country. My question is, how long has she got until her documentation runs out? What's their visa situation saying? Where are her family and friends? And why don't we have a GoFundMe to send her family and friends over to Pakistan to go and collect her? What are the American government doing about this? I understand it may not be their responsibility, but at the end of the day, to me, this could turn into a very dangerous situation. Sometimes bipolar disorder means that people can be a danger to themselves, not necessarily other people, but definitely a danger to themselves. Does Pakistan have enough facilities and enough funding to be able to take care of somebody who, number one, is not one of their citizens, and two, they don't necessarily have a duty of care to her? When people are going through manic episodes, it's very important that we don't egg them on, that we don't continue to laugh, because sometimes it can make them believe that their behaviour is okay and that there's nothing going on with them, when clearly there is. So my thing is, let's put our adult hats on. Let's put our smart thinking. Let's have discernment. Stop laughing at the situation and figure out ways where we can actually help this woman get home. Because as much as I understand her situation and what she's been through, at the same time, that is not a place for her to be. Pakistan is a wonderful country, but you want to go there when you are sane, not when you're going through a crisis. Time to bring Onijah home.
So, it's not technically tangent time, okay? But we have two other topics that are super hot topics, hard-hitting information. So, Cody Kos back. I'm going to the fair tomorrow, so I guess I can't make a video about it tomorrow. But I'm going to try to make a video about it someday. I don't know. Or maybe I just won't because it hurts my feelings.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Cody Kos back on his second channel. So I want to say like last month, he had posted his first video back on his Cody Trains channel.
Was that the one, sorry to interject, was that the one that he acknowledged or lack of okay. All right. Okay. So that channel, because he has several.
He has 4. So yeah, with that one, Cody Trains, contrary to popular belief, it's not where he paints model trains. It's not. It's where he does like marathon and runs.
Oh.
Anyway, so it's a lot more, obviously a lot more personal, more like vlog style stuff.
Yeah.
And so I think that this was very calculated. And I think that he put, not an apology because it wasn't that, it was an acknowledgement kind of on that channel to kind of gauge his like super, super, super core dedicated audience, like where they were, right? So I think that's why he put it on that channel, and that's his smallest channel. And then he put out, like, that went over well with that specific audience. And then he has posted like 4 or 5 videos on that channel since he posted that first video.
So
like,
went
back.
over well in what terms? Like, what were the comments like? Like, they supported him and were like, this suffices? Or like just in terms of views?
No, I think the feedback from his audience and like his fans, not like the general public.
Okay.
Yeah. So that, and then he posted a video like 2 days ago, probably like 4 days ago by the time this video is posted, but within the last week, to his Cody and Co channel, which has 1.2 million subscribers, I believe. And that's his second channel. He does basically the same type of content on that channel, just like a little bit less like production value. And in the comments of that, I do suspect that it has been heavily filtered. Oh my Lord. Bean has a teeth.
A teeth.
Okay. Bean has a tooth. It came through last night, I think. This kid has woken up the past 3 nights at 2 a.m. and he'll fall asleep. I'll put him in his crib and then he'll stand up instantly and cry and like grab his blanket and like say, "Mama, mama." And I'm just like, well, it might be a heartless bitch on the internet, but I can't refuse that.
Yeah.
So I have to pick him back up, rock him back to sleep, sing to him because I have the voice of an angel, obviously. No, I don't. And I'm dying on the inside. And thank God for Adderall and coffee. Yeah. So, anyways, having a toddler is a toddler?
Chelsea has to go to bed.
Anyways, so I think that this is very calculated on his part. And I think that it being 6 months from the date that everything happened is obviously not a coincidence. And yeah, I mean, I think he was like testing the waters with the smallest, like core dedicated audience. And then that went well. And then now testing it to see how it's going to go with the bigger one, the one that has over 1 million. And then if that goes well, then going back to his normal channel.
So this is a prediction. This is a CC Suarez exclusive prediction that we've got going on here. It checks. This makes sense.
I am a bitch. Okay, so
did you see the episode with Tana recently and Jeff on his podcast? Apparently, like they talked about it. I just saw this when you just said Cody Ko came back and we were talking, so I haven't even had a chance to actually watch it. What did she say in terms of his apology or lack of?
They were making, like, they were talking about it obviously, and they got like more serious. But they're really good at transitioning, and same with Trisha too. But they're really good at transitioning and like going in between like being sarcastic and like dark humor and funny, and then like being serious, And I feel like Tana really has a talent for that.
Okay.
But to my knowledge, because like I know they talked about it, but I haven't like actually watched it yet. So I'm pretty sure they were like joking about how like he came back and was like doing like running vlogs, and then how David Dobrik came back and has like an 8-pack.
Oh, okay. So they were kind of like I get it, like kind of warping in like both of their people, like because like Jeff's got his thing with David, and then obviously now like with everything that unfolded with Tana and Cody. Okay, that makes sense.
Cody Ko came back with a workout thing.
Yeah.
I guess that's the thing. You just come back. I worked out, guys. My felonies are expunged.
Honestly, it's
Yeah,
so
what? I
true.
raped that girl. I ran 1,000 miles.
It's so true. Like, I feel like next time I get canceled, I'm just going to
like the
do
judge,
Pilates on video.
If you do like a serious crime, the judge should just offer you two things: jail time
and an Aloe membership,
or run 1,000 miles
it's
in
actually
6 months.
Crazy.
You know, like that's the way to get uncanceled. Look at it. Hey guys, I know I killed that guy, but look at these abs.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think that's crazy. I mean, it's also like, what do people, obviously not defending him, but like also what do people, or the public, I guess the audience, like the viewer, what do we expect to happen? Because like he can't admit to the crime. Like it did happen. Clearly it happened. Like he wouldn't have gone away for that long if it didn't happen.
Right. And we've talked about this too. It's like you can't get canceled necessarily unless you like allow yourself to be canceled. So yes, while like we can have the morals and like the ethics of like not giving the views and, you know, interacting and encouraging him coming back, at the end of the day, I guess if he still has supporters and people who are watching and this is his livelihood and his profession, well, yeah, I guess he's not gonna like get a 9 to 5 anytime soon if the videos are popping off. I think that I saw like that one video, like the recent one that he posted was like already at like almost like 500,000 views. Like that's insanity right there. That's like what a lot of people make in like half a year.
Yeah, it's also like he doesn't. So I know a lot of people are saying like he doesn't have to work, but also I think he does.
Well, yeah, even if he's invested in brands and stuff like that, if he's falling off and he doesn't have the support, those businesses are going to tank. So yes, we've heard that he's made good financial decisions and he's able to, you know, kind of like sustain his lifestyle for a certain amount of time. But unless you are continuously the face of that, and that's why people are supporting it and that it's making those businesses successful, then yeah, you do have to kind of like keep up the image and get out there. It's just such an odd time because no matter how much you can like scream from the rooftops that somebody doesn't deserve a platform and doesn't deserve to like, you know, an influence over people, at the end of the day, like people are still going to support who they want. I will never wrap my head around how Ash Trevino even got to a position to be able to be on social media and being gifted gifts and like just by her track record in general. She's never even tried to have like a moment of, you know, making the switch and like redeeming herself in any way into like positivity and being like, listen, I know that I've hurt people, but this is like my focus now. That it won't happen. And why would it? Because people are still freaking supporting her.
Well, it's also like it's different when you're watching like the trashy TV of it all, right? But I like that you actually specified like the gifting aspect. Like who the is giving this person money? Like you are just as bad, if not worse.
Yeah.
Like you're the reason why she gets to keep going.
And that's sad, really. Like
she's disgusting.
That just honestly not funny, but it did remind me of that TikTok where it's like, it's laughing, like everyone's lying, and it's like, but at the end of the day, it's not funny, it's serious.
It's not funny, is it?
It's serious. That reminds me of my sisters, because I've seen the headlines on a lot of that where it's just like me and my siblings just dying about all of like the emotional trauma we've been through at life, and then being like, but at the end of the day, it's serious. Yeah, but that's it, right? It is like when you step away and look at it in a whole, I don't get it. I'm glad that a lot of people in terms of like Ash Trevino anyways are not watching her lives, and more so the T channels who are just kind of like grabbing the clips and then getting caught up from there, because that's what needs to happen. Like go elsewhere to get it. Even like I guess like Cody Ko, if you want to see him, like maybe go watch like an updated brief from, I don't know, a T channel that's gonna break down what he said in his latest. I don't know. I don't get it.
I mean, he's a like commentary and like reaction.
Yeah, so there's really nothing to say.
Yeah, but then also like if you are really missing his content, like realistically, he isn't as funny personally, and this comes from someone who like absolutely loved him and looked up to him a while ago, 7 months ago. But the thing is like the content from like Drew Gooden, Curtis Connor, and Danny Gonzalez it's so much better.
Right.
So much more effort and like passion put into those videos instead of just sitting down and telling lazy jokes to a camera and like
the sniper
he doesn't
wolf
do
of
any
it
of like
all.
yeah, oh my god, yes. Well, like he doesn't even do like the like green screen skits or anything like that, or it doesn't even really seem like he like writes out jokes like before.
He's just watching and trying to go off the cuff because he already has the audience that is going to watch anyway.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting. And don't get me wrong, like sometimes I'll do that too, but there's
you have
mostly...
babe, you put so much work and effort and research into it. You have an outline, you have an everything. You incorporate that in addition to all of the work that you put in. So
I have costume changes. Yes. I have different characters.
I know, babe. You're putting out quality shit here, okay?
Listen, I don't know. Anyways, so
Chelsea can't take confidence.
I just can't. No, unless they're physical, no, I can't. That's deep rooted right there. I just keep thinking about how excited I am to snuggle you.
Like that was a moment.
Sorry. It's so inappropriate. I can't wait. It's like I'm almost a month away.
I know. The only thing I'm thinking about is like, this time I'm going to pack snacks. I'm going to pack my Canadian snacks for us to like snack on together. Maybe we'll have a little Patreon episode doing that. But yeah, that was a desperate time when we'll have an Airbnb this time, so that'll be better. But when we were trying to like just loaded from the concert, trying to like stumble our way down to the lobby to get like the freaking like 3 chips that came in the bag for like $17 US. Yeah.
Well,
we'll be doing it different.
So I was thinking, instead of doing an Airbnb, doing like one of those hotels that I call them like airport hotels, because they're like the extended stays and like the suites, and like all of them are suites, and it has like a full kitchen in it.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking about doing one of the like one of the ones that are owned by like Marriott, and that way we have like a full fridge.
Yeah, I do love those too. Yeah. That's like in Banff, when you and Jesse and Lily, once we get them also to come to like the Banff trip, we'll stay at one of the condos that we do, and it's like that. It's like a condo, like it's like multiple levels, and then you have your kitchen, and it's like your own apartment. Yeah. Okay. Excited. Okay. Anyways, that was one tangent. Okay. So that's how we feel about the Cody Kos, Ashley Trevino of it all. I love like she always gets like grouped into things lately. Can we talk about what I'm really excited to talk about?
I have no idea what you're referring to.
Your conversation
Is it
with
that I'm
Bunnie.
a journalist?
Yeah.
What?
Not just Bunnie, obviously, but Ken as well.
So here's the thing.
Give everybody a quick synopsis of what happened, just for anybody listening to the podcast who didn't see your episode and who doesn't know what's going on between the whole like Ken and Bunnie and then the podcast names of it all.
So listen here. If there's one thing about me, it's that I am a journalist. We all know. Pulitzer Prize winning. Do journalists win Pulitzer Prizes? I don't know, but I am one. And I have that. So Ken Eurich, who, if you don't know, is a woman. I did not know that because Cher like a week ago was like, oh yeah, you see like the thing with Ken Eurich? And I'm like, yeah, I know him. And she's like, no, you don't, because it's a girl. And I was like, oh, whomst is that? So Ken Eurich is a very popular TikToker with millions of followers, and she's very likable, whatever. She has a podcast, or had a podcast, that started in June of last year or July of last year. And it was called the Dumber Blonde podcast. Now you might be thinking, hey, where do I know that from? What's going on here? So you're right, and I know. So there is a podcast called the Dumb Blonde Podcast, which is hosted by, what's her real name? Angela?
Alyssa.
By Angela, friend of the show. I was going to text her and just call her Angela the whole time, or like send her a voice note and be like, Angela. Anyways, so not to get ahead of myself. So what happened was Bunnie Xo, is who we're talking about, Jelly Roll's wife. You know, her lawyer used to be Jeanette Braun, Janet versus the girlies, all of that, right? That is not her lawyer anymore. She did fire her. Who's to say it was because of me?
Okay, can I tell you how much? Because you know me, like I love buns. I want to make the bridge. I want to be the bridge, the gap, the bridge of the gap. I don't know what the like between everybody. Okay.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not.
You want to do an Eiffel Tower? What are you saying?
I don't know what I'm trying to say. I want to get her with everybody and like everything be fine. So when I heard that, okay, so Ken made a TikTok saying, "Hey guys, just want to let you know the podcast is canceled.
The Dumber Blonde
podcast is canceled. We got a cease and desist by a podcast of the similar name. So obviously it's like, okay, of course it's Bunnie." The way I was like, "Bunnie, please don't let me down. Please don't let me down. That cease and desist better not have Janet's name on it." And when you showed that it wasn't, I was like, "Oh, okay, good." She did fire her. And you know what? I did you ask her if you had anything to do with it? Because I do think you did. That was a turning point, I think, for everything. Because that's what, after your video, that's when she started publicly saying, I fired her.
I have the text messages that show that she fired her, like the conversation between them.
Oh, hell yes.
She sent it to me. And I told, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Okay, yeah, sorry. We're getting, listen, we do this. Okay.
Hold on. Not sponsored by Typology, but hey, they might because I'll love it. So after seeing that and having everyone and their mom tag me in it, I was like, ugh, shit. Okay. Now, I do have Bunnie's number. I've had her number for like a year now. And she gave it to me. I didn't do anything with it and didn't text her because I was like, I don't need to talk to you. What are you talking about? And then when we were launching the podcast and we were going to be sending out, I was about to say cease and desist. When we were sending out our like PR packages, we had one for her. And so I, instead of DMing her, because, you know, at that time she still had me blocked on everything, I texted her and I was like, hey, what is your mailing address? Blah, blah. Because, you know, they do have multiple houses. And at that time he was also on tour. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I want to be able to send it somewhere. Like, where will you be in like 5 days? And I'll make sure like it gets there, whatever. And she's like, well, I'm on tour right now with him. So she's like, just keep it for now. And she's like, you know what? Congratulations on the podcast. Like, whenever I, you know, have you on mine, I would love to. And by that time you had already said that she had like invited us on or whatever. And she was like, bring it then. And, you know, then we'll like unbox it or whatever. And I was like, okay, sounds good, whatever. And like she checked in during the hurricanes as well. I thought that was very nice. And which like every influencer I've ever talked to did. It was very nice of them. And so I was like, you know what? Let me not text her for a statement regarding all of this when everyone and their mother and dead grandmas were tagging me in Ken Eurich's thing. I was like, let me just send an Instagram DM. So, you know, I'm doing some chores, unloading the dishwasher, and I'm like, oh, while my kid is watching Coco for the 14th billionth time today, let me go ahead and I'll send this DM. I'll unload the dishwasher. So I just very casually was like, hey, do you have you got a statement regarding the whole like Ken Eurich podcast thing? And I started watching Jesse and Lily's new episode. Then, you know, I moved over to another chore. I was folding laundry. And then a little notification popped up on my phone. Incoming call from Bunnie Xo. So I made sure to screenshot that real quick and send it to our group chat with Jesse and Lily.
Because you had Jesse and Lily on the screen and then
I had them on the screen and I was like, this was perfect timing. Yeah. And I was like, but then you know, I was just like, you know what? Let's do it. I was like, buckle up, bitch. Like, come on. So I answered the call and I was like, hey girl, what's going on? And she was like, hey, what are you doing? I was like, I'm just folding laundry. How's your day going? And just like instantly was just like, I'm fine. Because I get real bad anxiety. But then I was just like, girl, why? Mm-hmm. You're that bitch. Come on. Mm-hmm. Chop, chop. Let's go. Let's get a statement. And so she was like, all right, let's get into it. And I was like, okay. I wanted to make a joke about Sloan and be like, okay, Sloan, calm down. But I didn't know if she would get the joke because, you know, she's probably not chronically online, which she is. But she's a little bit more like I feel like she's not chronically online to the point of like
other internet drama. No.
Well, like the meme of it all. Yeah. Like, I feel like she's not, you know, with like that. I feel like she's chronically online with like the aspect of like she knows like who's talking shit, and that's not fun. Don't do that. That's not fun for you.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, so we talked about it, and I said I was like, yeah, I was gonna text you, but I was like, I'll just send a a DM real quick, and if you see it, whatever. If you don't, that's fine. And I was like, go through all of it. Like I saw her video. I was like, which I am gonna email her too, and try to because I have a lot of questions. Like there's like a lot of holes here. And so I was like, go ahead and like go through I was like, if you want to go through like your version of events and like the timeline. And she was like, okay. And like went through all of it. And I was like, all right, nice. And then I emailed Ken Eurich the next morning, because this was like later at night. And this girl emailed back so fast.
Aw.
So fast. And whenever I send out my like media inquiry statement request type of, subject line emails, I always start out with like, good afternoon, whatever. I've been trying to like perfect it, but I'm dumb. I'm not dumb. I'm very smart, but it's awkward sometimes because it's like, I'm like asking for a statement request. Like I'm working on a story, or like I'm working on a video, like I'm a YouTuber, blah, blah. So it's like, but basically I say that like I'm a YouTuber. I do, or, social media commentary, and, working on a video or working on a story regarding, this situation. I was going to reach out to you today for like, whatever, asking for a statement regarding blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And she responded back like pretty quickly within the hour, and was like, oh, hi, Chelsea. I'm very familiar with your videos. I would love to talk. Can I just send a voice note? And I was like, what? Excuse me? Okay. So, and it's not like having that like self-doubt, but I was like, I literally just heard of you.
Yeah.
How do you already know about me? That was just like weird.
Oh, you've made your way. You've made your way on all
I'm everywhere.
corners of the internet, haven't you?
I'm like a fungus. I be getting in places.
Okay,
That's
so she
gonna be
gave
a
you a
best of.
statement though, which was, I loved the voice clips. The video was so well, and we'll get Jay and Kaya to like, I already timestamped like where I want them, like in and the voice notes that I want from her statement. But for everybody else, like,
so Dear Media never told me not to name the podcast Dumber. In fact, I was going to spell Dumber a different way. Not sure if that was going to change anything. Like legally, I don't know if that would have changed anything. But I was originally like misspelling Dumber like I did on my spam account. And then they had told me, no, spell it the correct way. We've just seen in marketing and stuff like that. Like you're going to want to spell it the correct way. But I was never told like, hey, we talked to somebody that had a similar name. Nothing, which is kind of where I feel like I'm upset about, knowing that after the fact that Bunnie had said that like she had talked to them and had been in conversation about having her podcast on Dear Media. That kind of felt like, I'm sorry, how did they not clock that and say, hey, sorry, we have someone else. We've gone through like multiple different names. Dumber Blonde was the one that I was like, wait, this is my spam account name. This is what I want to do. And we looked up Dumber Blonde and nothing came up. But obviously we didn't do enough research on my end either. Like, it is what it is. Like I said, I feel like it's kind of petty. At the end of the day, like, it was what it was, like the copyright issue. I wish that Dear Media did a little extra effort and did a little more researching for me. But I guess if I own the IP, I guess that's on me. As far as putting money into this podcast goes, I put in so much money into this podcast. I feel like I was kind of sold a dream and thinking like I was just going to be making money essentially from this podcast, which couldn't have been further from the truth. I didn't make a dime. Dear Media doesn't pay you anything up front to start a podcast with them, which I knew. I just figured they had all the connections and everything that at the end of the day, like it would be worth it. And to be honest with you, I didn't really care about the money as much as I cared about growing a community. On top of that, all of the editing and everything I had to outsource for my podcast because Dear Media doesn't provide that. They can provide that, but in the end of the day, it's just getting tacked on to your like larger statement then. And then they also charge more money. Once I was with them, it was kind of like, oh wait, y'all have not really done anything. Like I have done all of the work in this. And then I think the whole Bunnie thing was like the final straw where it was like, oh my God, like don't get me wrong. I own the IP. I guess at the end of the day, like I'm fine with dealing with it on my own. However, it just would have been nice, I feel like, to have a little more support.
Cliff's Note version, what did she say? Basically, a lot of this was put on because of the media company,
they said like
right?
the same thing.
Yeah.
They said like the same thing, and I told both of them that. And I was like, listen, it's interesting because I've talked to both of you now at length. I've sent multiple voice notes back with both of you. Bunnie's closer in age to me. So we're like sending back pictures like of our bulldogs. She sent me a video of her cow, her Highland cow. And was feeding it something and like moved its mouth to like make it say, "Hi, Cece." I showed Tony that video and he's like, "I thought she hated you."
No, she's never
was like-
hated you. And that's one thing that I said. She doesn't hate you. She's like, this will be
Well, so
surprising, but
that's-
I actually really like her. I think she's funny. I think she's a pit bull. She called you pit bull.
I prefer bulldog. However, but yeah, so I mean, I even said, I was like, no, I think what's happening is, and I told her this too. I was like, girl, I know you like say like, oh, like I can't, respond to certain stuff, or I can't like respond to like almost anything because like my aunt, like my fans are, they will go after somebody. And I'm like, it's nice that you at least know that, but also like it is just probably better for you to just
then
respond.
Yeah, just because then it's
hurting
not
you
like the
more
build,
and
yeah, it's
letting
not the
people make you a
build-up.
villain.
Or even letting a narrative, like even for her supporters, like kind of take on a life of their own, of its own, right?
Yes.
As opposed to being like,
Yeah.
listen, this is my statement for everybody that supports me. I love you so much. Please do not, go and send hate anywhere on behalf of me. I do not like tolerate that whatsoever. So that's already out there. And then be like, this is what happened. So I am glad that, again, you were able to bridge the gap there. And it does sound like there was a lot of not miscommunication going on because her and Ken hadn't talked to each other. It does sound that like Bunnie had tried to reach out when she saw that that was the name of the podcast several times, didn't get a response back, right?
Girl, no, they did talk.
Oh, they did.
So
okay.
yeah, so they did, and so they had talked. Ken, hold on, let me go through my text because Ken messaged me. Not them being right next to each other in my text. She's so sweet though. And she's like, hey, just watched her video and it was very well done. And I do want to make the point that Bunnie reached out to me on Thursday, and then by Friday morning, I was contacted by her lawyers warning the cease and desist was being sent out. So there's less than 24 hours. It went from let's figure this out to waking up with an email from my lawyer that morning. And I even said, which is the same thing I said, and I think that's a good point to make. And I think the video did like convey that because you can see like the date on the cease and desist and like the, the timing with the texts from, or the DMs from her and Bunnie. And it did move pretty quickly, but I even said, I was like, I think she talked to Dear Media first. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Again,
That Bunnie
could
did?
be completely fucking wrong. I think so.
So what, oh, right, because you even asked Ken who came up with this name, and she said that she came up with that name because of her burner account, that's how, that it's called Dumb or Blonde, except for she didn't have the ER at the end, it was just R.
Yeah.
So when that was one of the options, there were several options by Dear Media. That was the one that she thought resonated the most because she already had the burner account with it.
Yeah.
And I mean, also being young, this is like the Hawk Tua of it all, right? It's like you no, it is, right? Like young and impressionable, like people seeing like, okay, this is the next Emma Chamberlain, like let's get on here, we got to sign her, and then you've got all these people in your ear that might not have the best interest. That should have never been a thing. And she did say too, like maybe she didn't know that Bunnie had a podcast, and that makes sense. Like she's a lot younger. Like we know of Bunnie, not even just because of like the beef that went on with like our girlies.
Yeah, but Dear
we already
Media
knew. And that's what I'm saying. Dear Media knew. So it wasn't Ken's responsibility if they're the ones that are wanting to produce this thing for her, get the show up and running. Yes, I thought that was really sweet of her to like continue to take accountability, saying that like I owned like the host, like, and like the page and everything. Like she is taking accountability for that. In the same sense though, having somebody, like with the type of success that she's had at her age, that's very daunting, like that. Like I try to think of my daughter being like, 19 this year. Had I not had social media experience whatsoever, of course you would want to go like with an opportunity like that where you think like you're being promised the world, and then you at the end of the day you're the one left holding the bag when it hits the fan and no one's got your back, right? Like that would be really like I wish I would have known Ken so that I could have just like steered you in a different direction, because that's what I would have done with my daughter. I would have been like, hey, listen, like what are they going to do for you? What's this? Because people just talk these days.
Yeah. Well, and when she was saying, because that was one thing, and I even had talked to Bunnie about this too, and I was like, well, in her video, like she had said that she put like this much like tens of thousands of dollars into her podcast, but like then what the Dear Media doing? And Bunnie even said, she was like, her and I agreed that we both, and many other people that I've talked to too, and I said this in my video, that a lot of people who have talked to who have either almost signed with Dear Media, and this is all anecdotal, it's not factual, it's just anecdotal, calm down, do not sue us. Do not do it. But they have like not had good experiences with them, have been like talked up and like, you know, promised the world and then not really gotten a lot. And I thought that was so interesting with Ken, because she was like, yeah, I loved that, you know, they had the space here and I could go use it for free. And that's fucking huge. That's amazing. And then being able to, you know, have all those other resources and
well, everything wasn't added on, right? Like she still had to like put into, I think, like the production, right? And then like, yes, they could have edited for her and done like the clips and stuff like that, but it was an extra cost. And yes, like that is standard and customary. But
so I thought it was interesting because for our editors, it's like, right, it's taken out of our like sponsorships, but she was saying that like it's not month to month. That shit is like
upfront.
It's the lump sum.
Oh.
So it was like, yeah, and she was like, don't quote me on this like exact number. She's like, but she's trying to make the point that it's like a $30,000. And it's like, what? Also, I think
she also said in that statement she never made $1 off the podcast and it started in June or July. That does not sound right.
So the point that I'm about to make is exactly where your head is that I don't think that she was being paid or getting a good enough percentage for what she was bringing in with their sponsorships. Like we know like with like when podcasters, like we have ours signed with our, not giving y'all so much, you know, behind the scenes info, sorry, but like we have ours signed with the agency that we're both signed with, right? For our own YouTube channels. But, you know, other people like, you know, Jesse and Lily and Holly Madison and Bridget and people who don't have, you know, other platforms that are also signed with something, having agencies that are just podcast centric, what you'll do is you'll like renegotiate your percentage. So it'll be like, they get 20%, you get like, you know, 80, I can't do math, 80%, or, you know, you're split basically. And I really, it's not super uncommon for it to be like a 40-60 or a 50-50 or something right when you start out, so they can know what they're getting into, you know, and then reevaluate. That's completely normal. However, I really feel like they possibly were not like negotiating enough for those brand deals for her. And it like her audience is just so dedicated and it's crazy. Like, I don't know. I think it's I don't want to say like a wake up call, but a look behind the curtain, so to speak, of like, wow, you can have millions and millions of views on every video on TikTok and then have what looks to be a very lucrative deal with arguably one of the biggest, you know, podcast networks, but then make no money. But that's why she didn't, is because it all went back in, because like she wasn't making any profit because it was all like reinvested into
what
like,
into what they already invested and what she
first.
already invested into the podcast. I'm assuming like the sets and all of that kind of stuff. And very interesting. So what ended up, okay, so then what did she said that once that cease and desist came, she basically just kind of like took that as a sign because she was already having like some red flags and just like a, you know, a spidey sense that things, this wasn't probably the direction that she wanted to go. So instead of like fighting the cease and desist, she was kind of just like, you know what, actually, I think this is a blessing in disguise. I don't even like want to like acknowledge or go like forward with it. I'm actually just going to like be canceling this and like severing the contract with whatever.
Dear Media.
Yeah.
So one thing that I even said to her too, my like last text to her as well was, and sorry that I keep touching my ears, you guys, my wig like sits right on my ears and I have the tiniest fucking ears in the world, and every AirPod, earphone, whatever that I put in my ear like hurts my ears. I'm gonna have them amputated. So I just have holes there instead. Anyways, so yeah, I even said to her, like, it's okay. Like, you're doing great. Like, I was like, you could do this by yourself for cheaper and for better. And I even said with us as well, I was like, we're not going to sign to any like distribution type thing because that doesn't make sense.
No. Yeah, no. Okay. So this makes sense though and this is another thing, like what they don't tell you, right? Of like, just go on your own. Like, please, like, even if you have like a massive platform somewhere else, know that you essentially are starting not from scratch, but like pretty fresh. So expect like those lower views, because this is just proof right here that even if you have a big media company behind you promising you all of these things, like it might not take off the way that you think it is. So for example, like going 6 months ago, she's got 1.5 or like almost 2 million followers on TikTok. Her views, like this does make sense for a new podcast. So I don't know what like they were thinking or what she was thinking, but yeah, like 10,000 views, 13,000, 14,000, 7,000, 6,000, 8, 5.
Oof.
So it's not in the hundreds of thousands. So that actually does make sense that she has not made a lot of money on the podcast.
And our generation and then hers as well. They don't really do the audio only. Like we want to see ya. You know? Yeah. So even if we like put our phone down and like have, you know, an earbud in it, it's like we want to see ya.
Hers is visual on YouTube.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
and that's what I'm on too right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying like even with ours as well, like it's a pretty good like the views on YouTube of your podcast are with our generation and our demographics. There's going to be like 500 extra audio only listeners. Like
right.
That's a pretty, yeah.
Yes. Okay, I see what you're saying. So yes, not to take in account of like the audio listeners. No, you would still, especially nowadays, people actually want to watch a lot of their podcasts on YouTube. It's such a like a different time now to like be able to see that. So
these are my talk shows.
This really I love that. This really makes a lot of sense. Her thumbnails though, she did say that they had offered like to do the thumbnails for her, but that again was like an extra fee. Girl, like these are so adorable.
These are awesome.
They're really, really good.
They're so good.
You could just continue on, change the name and continue where you are and keep posting, because like that's definitely the right track. But for your like on your own,
saying like, oh, can you call it Just Ken or I'm Just Ken? And in my head, I'm like, no, you idiot. That's also trademark infringement. But she could
not Ryan Gosling just being like, listen, baby girl.
Oh my god. Or it could be Just Ken. Like that would be fine. But I'm Just Ken. Like, you can't. Like y'all are not getting it. So I talked to her about that, and both like I feel like all three of us were on the same page. And I also said in my video multiple times, I was like, I really think that, in my own opinion, that Dear Media really flubbed it up. And I think that my conspiracy is that I think that they were trying to get Bunnie to send the cease and desist so that they could present that to Ken and be like, here, we want like you have to change the name so that they could keep her. But then she's like, no, I'm out, which makes sense. But I think that they've been trying to get more like Gen Z viewers. And like she is that.
Yeah.
So,
and on their roster that you showed, again, you said like there's like a lot of other examples, but she seems like pretty much like that girl for them, right? Like that's the Emma Chamberlain of it all for them.
Girl, do you want to know why I literally said it in the video. I was like, listen, those are like the most notable. And I'm like, and by most notable, I mean the names I recognize.
Right.
I had no idea who anyone else was.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, yeah. I mean, you'd think like though, like with a like company like that, they would know what the expectation is. Again, this is like why I get like very upset, because I feel like even for anybody, not even like the younger influencers and stuff, they get sold these dreams by these larger companies who overpromise, underdeliver, and then not just like set realistic expectations of like, hey, like we're kind of like starting from scratch here. Like let's not like, you know, try to go like too big, too fast by doing this like elaborate set. Like her set is beautiful. It was so good. I can't imagine.
Well, she did that.
Yeah.
Like, well, not she did that, but it's kind of like the one that we rented.
Yeah.
Which Yeah, and it was like their like sister one, but like you had to pay, which is that right there. I would have had that in my contract, and literally like since that I wasn't able to utilize that, I would have been like, no, contract broken. Like, or you have to figure something out so that I don't have to pay, because that's crazy. Like, absolutely not.
Yeah,
That's
to pour money into
literally
that,
like the only reason.
Yeah, it's like that would literally be the only reason why I would sign somewhere, is if like that was already like invested into me, that I'm not paying back. Like the company would get something back, you know, like just based on their percentage of whatever.
Yeah.
Like if you want me and you want me to bring the views in, again though, they should know this, because you're starting, regardless of what she's already established on TikTok, that does not resonate across all platforms. It doesn't with any social media platform. Same with us, like going to TikTok. Like what? Like I have like 7,000 followers. You have like 100,000 or something like that over on TikTok. You're pretty like even keeled, aren't you? Or what do you have? Like 30? What do you have?
I don't know. I think I posted like 3 TikToks today.
Yeah.
Which got no views, because that's how TikTok works for me now.
And that's
which
the
is
thing,
fine.
like, but that you expect that.
35,000.
Yeah, you expect that. It's like starting anything. You've got to like go balls to the wall on it like all the time, put the same amount of effort into. And like for us, it's just our home has always been YouTube, and we've put that effort and energy into there. So for her, she's coming into like that beast, which is very different than TikTok. So I can imagine what those views would have.
It's the
like,
short
been like.
form.
Yeah, I hope
the
that
short
she
form to long
doesn't
form,
think that
the long
that's
form
like
to short
bad.
form.
Because if she keeps going, it is a blessing in disguise. She just has to like rename it, still keep that page. She's already got like almost 20,000 followers on there. Post yourself, girl. Like, and then that's all of you with like YouTube.
Did you know that our podcast episodes get more views than Snooki?
I'm not surprised. I'm just kidding. I went through my Snooki era. No, I didn't know. What does she talk about? No, I love it, but like, what is she talking about?
I don't know.
I
do love her.
Yeah, I do too. But I mean, I don't know. Adorable. I think we also do, I said it before, Haley Jade, Eminem's daughter. But again, they both do not need to put the insane Eminem's daughter.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Sorry.
Again, though, like they've got their own behind the scenes. They've got their own like businesses and investments and like money and all of that stuff. Like they don't need to do that. They're just like doing it for fun, which is great. Like have an outlet, talk your shit. But I've never, it's not saying that it doesn't surprise me, because like, oh, what did she talk about? Like, no, it'd be like cute to like hear her talk about like just random but I just don't see her as being like an everyday, like, okay, like sit down, this is our weekly episode. I think it seems like more of like
her episode with Jake Shane was really, really funny, and I loved it. And they got so drunk when she was on Therapist. Oh my God, girl, his podcast is awesome. Like not only the segments, but the set, and then like the intro and all that. I love it so much. Oh my gosh.
Can go on your own.
That's what we should do when we're together next, or when you come down here, I come up there, whatever. We should do some type of footage or something to where we could have like an intro like that.
Oh, yes. I would love that.
Yeah.
All right.
I like it. I like
Add
it a
it to
lot.
the to-do list.
Alrighty,
so where are we at? So where we're at is you talked about sides.
We're going to Pakistan. I'm a journalist. That's why we're going. Boots on the ground. I'm gonna go get a statement. I'm gonna go get a statement from Anijah.
Yeah, let's get Operation Get Anijah home. We'd prefer if you didn't continue supporting Cody Kos until he, I don't even know. Support him if you want, whatever at this point. And
I feel like we're on the same boat of like
we just know the non-cancel culture of it all. It's like really at this point, if you're standing on your soapbox getting so upset and like so invested and like raging about it, and you know that you can't change the situation, it's just not good for you.
Exactly.
Really, at the end of the day, that's how I think about it.
Not
to excuse it. I'm just literally like,
oh no, never excusing it. But no, it's us knowing that there's only so much you can do. And that's like when, oh my God, the complainers, as my brother-in-law calls them, which I love that. But the people who get so mad about stuff, and it's like, you're getting mad about things that have either not happened yet, never happened, or things that you have no control over, or things that, like what Trixie Mattel said the other day, is don't care more than who it involves.
Yes, I really
Like if
like
the
that.
person that it's about doesn't care, then move on and enjoy your life. Like,
Yeah. Yes, enjoy your life
yeah,
at the end of the day. Really, like,
don't let it take up too much. Yeah, don't let it take up too much space. Listen, yes, this is our literal job, is having it take up space, but it also doesn't. Girl, you think when we hit end record, we remember anything we said? No, we don't. However, I remember what I was going to say earlier, where I was like, I got something to say.
What is it?
Okay. A bunch of people were like, Chelsea, problem solved. Just rent a car and then just fly home from Atlanta. They're missing the whole point of the road trip.
You wanting it to be in your car.
Yeah, my new Tahoe.
Yes. Yeah, I did figure that that's what you were like. Yeah, that was the point. Well, we could find a Tahoe really at the end of the day. I might want it actually just because maybe I'll just like feel less anxious about being in the air.
I mean, you still have to fly here.
Don't tell me that. I need an escort this time, I think. I might bring Sienna.
I support that.
I just might need to bring her to feed me the Advents when I start getting worked up on the plane. She's really good at that.
Well, that's not fair. I can't bring Jenna. She's super pregnant. Oh my God. And Leah was so sick. And then she was super sick. And I was like, hey girl, you need me to like, are you breathing? Are you alive? And she's like, I'm not okay mentally right now. And I was like, you're really solidifying that I should not get pregnant while I have a toddler.
Yeah.
Girl, as the days pass, I'm just like,
I know.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
And you can't make me.
Thank you. Yeah. You cannot impregnate. Listen, if we've learned anything about this uterus, she does not want to stay pregnant. Okay? That's morbid. Anyways, here's a video of Bunnie Xo feeding her cow.
Yes, I do want to see that. Yes, thank you. Great way to wrap this up. So,
yeah, I mean, I think that's that on that. And oh my God, I just remember the second thing.
What?
These bitches in the comment section saying, Chelsea, Helen Keller didn't fly a plane. That was Amelia Earhart.
I'm not going to lie. That's where I went to at first. Did Helen Keller fly a plane?
First of all, no, she didn't. Second of all, they told us that she did. And
who's they?
The ominous they, Sherilyn. Stay with me. You're on my side. Shut up. So that's the thing, though, is that when I texted our group text about it after my 2, and by 2 I mean 3, espresso martinis the other night, and of all people, Lily, the one who is more willing to at least listen to a conspiracy theory, texts back and she's like, I don't know if I can get in on this conspiracy theory, Chelsea, regarding if Helen Keller, like, listen, I know she was a real person. I understand that she was, deaf and blind. I get it.
And mute.
What?
Yeah, she also didn't speak. Wait, correct me in the comment. Like, I'm almost 12,000% correct on this, I think.
Well, guess what? Most of the internet is 12,000% sure that she did fly a plane. And then, girl, no, because I almost had Jessie on my side. Because then Lily sent that and was like, yeah, she also flew a plane. And Jessie was like, wait, what? And we'll show the screenshots. I was dying the neck because I promptly will say that I'm questioning the moon landing and then ghost them and just fall asleep and leave them in an Ash Trevino live stream by themselves. And then I went back the next morning and I looked because I just knew it was going to be great. And then Jessie responded because Lily sent the Google search results. And it was like, yeah, she was in a plane and then over the Atlantic or something. She took control of the pilot let her take control of it. Over a certain part, whatever, for an hour or whatever.
Oh my gosh. I thought it was just kind of when your dad lets you sit on the lap for 2 minutes, but still controlling everything.
I'm probably wrong. That's probably really what it was. And Jessie responds and she goes, so she rode in an airplane. And I was like, yes. Also, there was another person in the comments that was like, guys, don't doubt anything she did. And I'm like, no, I'm going to doubt everything. Because there's been books written about her, but then there's also been books that she wrote. And I'm just like, listen, I'm just a dumb bitch with a microphone. That does not make sense to me. And I'm very sorry. I'm not trying to be ableist. I swear to God, I'm just stupid, I guess, because I'm like, if you are deaf and you are blind, how the are you going to learn sign language if you can't see? And they're like, oh, well, they like did it into her hand. And I'm like, how do you teach her what those things mean if she can't see or hear? Like, that does not make sense to me. Again, I'm just an idiot. Okay. But there were multiple people in the comment section that were like, no, Chelsea, you're right. There were multiple books written by her neighbor who said that the teacher made it all up and that the teacher was the one who like actually wrote the book. So yes, that's a conspiracy.
Yes, because that's a whole thing too, right? Like, because the teacher aspect of like she had a very close relationship, obviously, with her teacher, who was like instrumental in, lifting her up. And I guess it could be a story. We're not getting into this.
Listen, did she fly a plane?
Apparently for an hour across the Atlantic on the pilot's lap.
Stop. Well, also, if you look at what the plane was, it was like the one that the Wrights brothers were like on the wing of.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Well, yeah, so then it's like, there's no autopilot situation here. What's going on?
No, she would have definitely needed to be on their lap. Is there photo evidence of this? We don't have the footage, but we did have the footage from the moon landing.
Thank you. Thank you, Sherilyn Dale. Thank you.
We gotta go.
Listen, and I'm not
Here for the Clout gets canceled for doubting Helen Keller driving the plane by herself.
A bunch of people were like, she was a real person. I'm like, I didn't say she didn't live.
Yeah, no, she definitely was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, I guess you're making me question everything. I think I've had too many high noons here, but
hey,
this is when
if there's one thing about
you
tequila
get them.
high noons. If there's one thing about tequila high noons, they will make you question the moon landing. I can't wait to get a BBL. And not an actual BBL, but like...
I'm like, Chelsea, no, you're not doing it. The risk is way too high for me to lose you. Thank you very much.
No, not a BBL. The thing that I've been sharing, the core method, whatever, cannot f***ing wait. You bitches ain't ready. I'm going to be shaped like a box no longer. All right, well, yeah, Ash Tribunal sucks ass, per usual. And Helen Keller was a real person.
Just leave it at that. Just leave it at that,
thinking
Chelsea.
that it was propaganda. Nope, propaganda. Just like the moon landing. It's a joke.
Go.
Calm
we gotta
down.
Go.
Don't
Love
tell
you guys
Buzz Aldrin.
so much. We'll see you in the next episode. Stay feral.
We have to go.
We've gotta go.
Anyways, make sure that you stay feral.
Down the man.
And save the empire.
Damn the man! Save the empire!
Oh my God, we didn't even plug Patreon.
Follow our Patreon. No, it's gonna do it. This one we got it will do it. Watch right now. Everybody show them right now. If you have been questioning whether or not to join, please just come to me and be like, Cher sent me. Cher sent me with just the join the page with that. Do we have our new tier yet?
Listen, most people who listen to this podcast already like you way more than they like me. So you know what? Yeah. Just to piss me off and prove her right. Go join the Patreon and I'll be able to see if you're new.
Yeah,
and you
will.
can just say, Cher sent me. And that's it. With just that one little tagline instead of my longest thing.
I love that. Cher sent me. Okay, can't wait to see you guys all there. We have some good stuff this month for you. I'm so excited. And yeah, okay. Love you. Bye.
Bye. Helen Keller isn't real.